All right. Today we're talking about something called the 4-hour deep work protocol. And trust me, it's a method that could completely change the way you work, maybe even the way you think. But first, let me ask you something. What if you could achieve all your yearly goals in just 3 months? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Almost impossible. But here's the thing. In a world that is practically designed to distract us, being able to truly focus, well, that's a genuine superpower.
And to really get a handle on that superpower, we have to be honest about the battle we're all fighting and probably losing every single day. We're living in what you could call the age of distraction.
You know, a friend of mine has this great name for his open office. He calls it Meerkat Manor. And it's perfect, right? The second a phone buzzes or someone walks by, every single head pops up from behind a monitor to see what's happening. It's like the perfect environment for absolutely destroying any chance of real concentration. And those little interruptions, they have a real hidden cost. Get this. After you get distracted, it takes an average of 23 minutes to get back to the same level of focus you had before. 23 minutes. Just think about how many times that happens in a day. The amount of lost time is just staggering. And the data backs this up big time. It turns out most of us spend over 60% of our work week just dealing with email and searching for stuff online. Over 60%. That means for the majority of our time, we're just reacting, not actually creating anything new or valuable. So what's the escape plan? How do we get out of this mess? Well, it's not about working longer hours. It's about tapping into a superpower that, honestly, most of us have forgotten we even have. And that superpower, it's called deep work. Now, this is not just working hard. Not at all. It's about getting into a state of pure, 100% distraction-free concentration, where you push your brain to its absolute limit on one single important thing. And the key here is really understanding the difference. So you've got deep work on one hand. This is the tough stuff, the cognitively demanding work that creates real value, stuff that's hard for someone else to just copy. And then on the other hand, you have shallow work, answering emails, scheduling meetings, all that logistical stuff. It feels productive, but let's be real, it's not what moves the needle on your most important goals. It really all boils down to this super simple but really profound equation. The quality of the work you produce isn't just about how much time you spend on it. It's the time you spend multiplied by how intensely you focus. If you can crank up that intensity, you can get incredible results in way, way less time. Okay, so let's peek under the hood a little bit. What's actually going on inside your brain when you get into that focused state? Why does this work so well? First things first, we have to blow up a huge myth. The idea of multitasking. It's just not a real thing. Our brains are not wired to do two challenging things at the same time. What we're actually doing is switching back and forth between them really, really fast. And that switching, it comes with a heavy price. See, every single time you switch, say from writing a report to checking a quick email and then back again, a little piece of your attention gets left behind on the email. It's this thing called attention residue. It's like a mental fog that lingers, which means when you go back to the report, you're not operating at full power anymore. Okay, so you're probably thinking, if this kind of focus is so great, why are we only talking about a 4-hour protocol, right? Why not 8 hours or 10? Well, it turns out there's a limit, even for the most brilliant people in history. We're talking about game-changing scientists, famous novelists, you name it. The pattern is pretty clear. About 3 to 4 hours of really intense, deep concentration seems to be the absolute maximum the human brain can handle in a single. All right, so knowing that's our upper limit, let's get practical. How do you actually build one of these 4-hour deep work sessions into your own life? It really comes down to 4 key steps. First, you've got to design your space. Find a specific spot that tells your brain, okay, when I'm here, it's focus time. Second, you have to block out the time on your calendar. I mean, treat it like the most important meeting of your day, because it is. Third, and this is crucial, you have to go dark. Phone on silent, notifications off, maybe even put it in another room. No excuses. And number 4, this one might sound a little weird, you have to plan your breaks. Your brain needs that downtime to recharge and make new connections. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is hard, especially at first. Your brain has been trained for years to crave that quick, easy hit of distraction. So breaking that habit, it's going to take real commitment. You're basically training a mental muscle that's probably gotten a little out of shape. But the payoff for that hard work,
It's huge. It's not just about being more productive. It's about gaining what is maybe the ultimate advantage, both at work and in your personal life. Because here's the cool part: what's happening on a biological level. When you focus that intensely, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're strengthening the neural pathways related to that skill, making them faster and more efficient. It's like you're upgrading a dirt road in your mind into a super highway. And the feeling you get from this, it's that incredible state we've all touched on at some point: flow. Where time just seems to melt away, you're completely lost in what you're doing, and you feel like you're pushing yourself to do something difficult, but really, really worthwhile.
And really, this goes so far beyond just productivity. It's about the quality of your life. Because when you think about it, what you pay attention to, that's what your life is. The ability to direct your focus where you want it to go, that's the key to building a life you actually value. So, where do you start? How do you actually begin this journey? Let's make it super simple, no pressure. Here's the challenge I have for you. Don't even think about 4 hours right now. Just start with 60 minutes. Tomorrow, pick one important task, find 1 hour, and allow for zero distractions. That's it. Just see what it feels like.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. We live in a world where pretty much everyone is just endlessly scrolling, reacting, and consuming. In that kind of world, choosing to do deep work, well, it's almost an act of rebellion. So the real question is, while everyone else is busy consuming, do you have the courage to create?